Hello, my name is James Blackmon, and I am the Artistic Director of MadLab and the Director of Moving In, Moving Out, Moving On. Moving In, Moving Out, Moving On is a domestic dramedy set in Cincinnati, Ohio. It is about an empty nester named Amy, who is also a bit of a control freak and has trouble letting go of things. She's taken it upon herself to move her and her husband Dan into the condo right across the hall from her aging parents upon learning of her mother's diagnosis of dementia. And so we follow Amy a little bit as she tries to learn to let go of things that she cannot control, which of course is very hard if you are a control person and likes to control everything. So that is essentially the framework of the story. But what's the play about? It's about family. Like I said, it's a domestic dramedy. It's about family, and it's about family relations. And yes, it's about Amy's mother's name is Nan. It's about Nan's dementia and what that does to the rest of the family. But it's not really a play about dementia. Like I said, it's a play about family. It's about what happens to everybody else and how everyone is affected by this. I talked about Amy, of course. She's the central character, and we follow her arc through the show. But it's not just about Amy. And one of the things that I said in rehearsal, especially early on to everybody else in the show, is that, dementia is happening to Nan, and directly we see that it's how it affects Amy. But let's not forget that it's happening to everyone else as well. Bob, who is Nan's husband, Amy's father, it's happening to him too. He's losing the love of his life for the last 60 years. Their relationship is about to change drastically. It's already begun to change because he's already showing signs. And it's hard to accept those things. And you want to show comfort and you don't want to show fear. But it's happening to you as well. So there is fear for the person that you love, and fear for yourself, and fear for the relationship that you used to have that it isn't anymore. It's changed. It's morphing into something else. And that's all. It's a very scary time. It's also happening to Dan, Amy's husband, as he has had to give up his beautiful home that he's worked so hard for and loved. And he mentions his barbecue grill that he had to give up, or even being able to smoke in his own house. And now he's had to move literally across the hall into the condo, across the hall from his in-laws, so that they can help be there and take care of Amy's parents. So it's definitely affecting him as well. And it's also affecting the young man named Jimmy, who had to move out so that Amy could move in. Jimmy was a beloved next door neighbor. Nan and Bob saw Jimmy and his wife Jenny as surrogate grandchildren, if you will. And they had a wonderful, loving relationship. Jenny and Nan went on walks together, and Bob and Jimmy talked a lot. And now that's changed. Not that they don't love their daughter, but they really were having a good time with the way things were. And so that's changed. And it's affected everybody. And that's what happens in life. Something happens to a family member, and then everyone, the residual effects, the ripples, it affects everyone. And this play deals with that beautifully. One of the main things that drew me to this particular piece was that as a middle-aged man myself, I'm 55, this is in the world of what I and all of my friends are dealing with right now. It not necessarily dementia specifically. My father passed in 2018, and he didn't have dementia, although he was showing some signs of just getting older. He was, we're having to take care of him a little more. And my mom is in her 80s now, and mom's just getting older. She's still with it, and she's still got her faculties and everything, but it's harder for her to get around as it is when you age. And so we have to take care of our parents, and the play touches on that as well. On how Nan does not want to be treated as a child by her child. I am the parent, you are the child, but those things get reversed, and that's hard to deal with. for all parties involved, to be honest. But I was really drawn to this work because of how beautifully well-rounded and fully realized these older characters are. We just don't get a lot of that in theater. I mean, there's work with older characters in it, but you know, at MadLab we produce new and original pieces, and it's just so great to be able to add to the world of theater a piece that takes the lives of older people and deals with them in such a beautiful, realistic, tragicomic way. Life is tragicomic. I mean, it's both. Life is a dramedy, and we get a chance in this play to those of us who are a little older to really identify with the characters, and to see ourselves in their journey, and to really latch onto it. I think it's going to bring those of us who are a little older a great piece of theater that sometimes we don't get to relate quite the same way to the pieces, and I think we will all really relate. And as for younger audiences as well, I mean, Jimmy in the play even says that this is something that he's had to deal with in his life. And I believe Sam has said in his interview that it's something that he's had to deal with as well. So, you know, no one is immune to these things. You know, they happen to our parents, they happen to our grandparents, they happen to our family, and they happen to the people that we love. And no matter who you are, I believe that you will see yourself in this piece and see yourselves in the characters and really get something out of it that you can take home with you and apply to your own life. The world premiere of Moving In, Moving Out, Moving On by Liz Coley runs at MadLab September 14th through September the 30th, and tickets are available right now at madlab.net.